Yo, what's going on guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope we're all having a great day today and we're all doing well. So if you guys were not aware, I actually built my PC the other day and I actually managed to start to get Siege working and everything. So I am now currently playing Siege on PC and console, so I now have access to both versions of the game, meaning that I can make more content for both versions and everything. So from like a content perspective and everything, I'm in a much more ideal position and I always have been and everything. So now I've got like access to the test server and everything, and I can obviously play the console game as well. And yeah, I'm also getting the PS5, so I'll be able to see what next gen console is going to be like and everything. So from a content perspective, I will have a lot of Siege and I'll be able to play a lot more Siege on both versions now. So that's quite a great thing. And obviously PC Siege has access to the test server, and the test server you don't have access to that on console. And the actual reason why there is no test server on console is purely because the test server requires updates frequently, so they can kind of patch stuff out until it goes to the live build. And the reason why it isn't on console is because all updates that go through games on console have to be approved by Microsoft and Sony before they, go out for that update, to make sure there's no like malicious content or stuff like that, which Sony and Microsoft could get the blame for. So they have to look at all the updates before then developers are allowed to send them out. And then obviously for a test server that needs to be updated practically daily, it just isn't very an ideal situation when you have to go through somewhere else. Whereas just on PC they can update it without getting regulated, because obviously they don't have to go through anyone else, it's just Ubisoft going through themselves. So I've actually been playing around on the test server quite a bit, and obviously currently on the test server the really big changes are obviously the Tachanka rework is on there because he's not in the live build yet, and I do believe that he probably will be coming to the live build very soon. And also the other big thing is that Oryx and Movimento have their loadouts changed. Now I've obviously gotten to this version of the test server a bit later than a lot of other people have, because this test server has been going for a decent while now, and is the matchmaking seems to be quite dead in it and everything, so I've actually not been finding many matches on it and stuff like that. So I've been going into sort of terrorist hunts and all that and trying out with some of the new changes. Obviously I've been trying the Tachanka rework and everything, and he's a lot of fun to play. I probably will have gameplay of like the test server as the background for this, and please don't judge how bad I am with a mouse and keyboard. It's literally my third day using it and everything. But yeah, I will be showing off like some Tachanka rework and Movimento and Oryx with their loadout switched. And I'll just kind of want to take the time in this video just to kind of give my thoughts on that stuff, because obviously now I've had hands on with it myself, and I've got to see what it looks like. So I'm going to talk about Tachanka first. Obviously I've not played them in a sort of competitive aspect, because I've not played really any ranked on PC yet. I'm not that skilled on the mouse and keyboard and stuff like that, but I still think I can kind of give my sort of like an experted opinion / guess, if that makes sense, of how I think he would kind of play out in these scenarios, like sort of like an educated guess, if you get what I mean. And so far, just in terrorist hunt, using his weapon, obviously the weapon does seem very strong. I've actually read a lot of places saying that like for like a damage and output and fire rate sort of like in terms of that, it's actually one of the weaker weapons on defense. But if that's true, and it probably is true, obviously I'm not one of these people who delves into like statistics of guns like that. There's other YouTubers there, I'm not going to go into that lane, and they do it a lot better than I do it. I'm very poor at understanding that stuff. But if that's true, I definitely do think it gets weighed out by the fact that this gun has such a big magazine and ammo capacity. The destruction on it is insane. You can open up hatches in a few shots. You can make these big like sort of rotation holes in the walls with still having a lot of ammo left. I think throughout this entire terrorist hunt, I think even to like round 4, which was like the final round on it, I still had at least 60 bullets left after still making, opening hatches, shooting walls open, like big circle holes that you can rotate so you can walk through just by using that gun, making rotates with that, killing the AI terrorists with it and everything. And by the time of round 4, I still had at least 60 bullets left. So from an ammo perspective, you're in an average game, you're never going to run out of ammo using Tachanka's LMG. If someone does somehow run out of ammo, they've either made too many rotations with it, or they're pre-firing too much and missing too many shots and stuff like that, and they're just not having good ammo conservation. But I can rarely see people running out of ammo in Tachanka's primary weapon with this LMG. Very little times as well you probably have to switch to your pistol during a gunfight, even if there's more than one person, because if you've got a fully reloaded magazine, like I said, I cannot see you having to, you know, switch weapon or gonna run out of ammo completely anytime soon. So from that aspect, like I said, if statistically Tachanka's LMG is weaker when it comes to damage and fire rate, I definitely think it makes up for it with his destruction capabilities and his ammo capacity. And it felt okay when I was using it, but once again I was only using it on terrorists, and maybe it, you know, was different in the main game, obviously, when we're actually fighting real players. But from what I feel like it felt like a pretty decently strong weapon, but it obviously shines when it comes to its ammo capacity and soft destruction capabilities. And I want to talk about his gadget as well. Obviously, like I said, I was doing this in terrorist hunts, so I didn't really get a massive feel of how strong his gadget is going to be, but I feel like I can give some sort of educated guess of how it would work in an actual proper competitive environment, and it is going to be extremely strong. And I kind of have like a few reasons of why I think this is going to be one of the most strongest gadgets, even for lower ranked players. And I kind of want to talk about Goyo. Now, I talk about Goyo a lot. Goyo is one of the operators in this game where in higher ranks he shines, and in Pro League he shines for how good he is at like plant denial and area denial and stuff like that, and just how great the deployable shields are themselves, and he can bring 2 of them. So Goyo does bring a lot, and he's an insanely good operator. But if you go down further in the ranks, he is practically a non-existent operator which no one uses. And I feel like Tachanka is kind of like a middle ground for that. I don't think he's going to make Goyo obsolete. I think he's going to be used as well as a Goyo, but he can definitely kind of do the same jobs as Goyo. But Tachanka's got 10 of these, Goyo's got 2 shields. If you play Tachanka, and this is aimed more at lower ranked players, you kind of have a lot more room for error than you do with Goyo. If you've got a Goyo shield and you detonate it too early, or you detonate it by accident, or you know, you detonate it and it's not close enough to someone else, you know, you've got 2 chances to do that. And it's not very portable. Once you place that shield, and if it's in a dangerous position, you're not picking it up again, it's staying there. Whereas Tachanka, he currently has 10 of these 10 of these grenades in his gadget. And now compared to both Smoke and Goyo, obviously, who pretty much have similar jobs to Tachanka now, they all kind of have the whole plant denial, area denial role now. Tachanka, like I said, I don't think he's going to make them obsolete. I really don't think they're going to make him obsolete. It's just, it's really aiding it's kind of like a crutch version of those operators, and I don't want to say that. Obviously, I've wanted that Tachanka rework for so long, but I don't want to sugarcoat it either. He is kind of just a crutch version of Smoke and Goyo. You know, like I said, Goyo, he, you know, sometimes he doesn't require skill. Sometimes I'd say that he's quite an easy operator to use, but obviously he does require a coordinated stack for him to be utilized effectively, and that's the same with Smoke as well. Smoke is a lot more easier to use than Goyo, I'd say, obviously, because you can throw them and you can kind of play it around yourself, whereas Goyo, with Goyo shields, you kind of need to be in a coordinated stack. So I'd say obviously Goyo is probably the hardest to use, but I'd say he's got a massive payoff. Same with Smoke, but I think he isn't as hard to use as Goyo for the average player, and he still has a pretty good sort of playoff. But then you've got Tachanka, who feels like the easiest out of all of them, and probably has the highest payoff of them all. Because, like I said, with a smoke canister, you have to throw it, then detonate it. It can be shot before. With a Goyo shield, they can destroy it beforehand. It may not be in the right position. They might not even be in that bit at all, and then you can't go get it because it's too dangerous to go pick it up. But with a Tachanka's secondary gadget, he can just shoot it willy-nilly. It bounces off objects, it'll land, it'll make that patch of fire. He can do it from hidden corners. He doesn't even have to be in the same room. He can bounce it off the walls. He's got 10 of them, so there's room for a mistake and stuff like that. If you've got a lot, when it's plant time, you can plant it in all the plant spots practically and just burn that timer out. And you add that upon a Smoke and you add that upon a Goyo, then, you know, you've got a match made in heaven. And then he's also got, like I said, the gadget with the destructive capability. And I feel like, just kind of to top it all off, that he has withstand ability. So if you do manage to stop him and get him injured finally, after he's putting an onslaught of fire at you when you're trying to plant and win the round, he can revive himself without any other teammate helping him. So I don't want to sound like one of these people who want everything nerfed to the ground the moment they release, but I'm just very worried of how Tachanka is going to be played, because really he is, I'm going to say that he's too strong. I don't think he deserves to have 10 like a capacity of 10 ammo in his gadget. I feel like he should have 5 at the most, but maybe give them a longer duration, because they do burn out after, what, 5 seconds or less, I think. So I do think maybe they should half his capacity they should half it. He shouldn't have not 10, he should have 5. But the time limit that they have should be increased. I'd be fine with that. Another thing, I feel like maybe he shouldn't have withstand. It's a cool feature, it sounds cool, it's cool to have it on Tachanka. I just don't think for a competitive aspect and a fair aspect that he should have it. So I'm just going to quickly wrap up this video by talking about Oryx and Melusi as well. I did try out their loadouts and everything, and I did try them with the switched weapons, and honestly, it feels so much better on either of them. I think the MP5 works better on Melusi, and I think the T5 works better on Oryx. Oryx also has 1.5 as well, so it's going to be interesting to see how much more play he's going to get, because the T5 SMG with a 1.5 times scope, if you do play Legion, you do know that it is an incredible weapon, especially with that scope. So I'm interested to see how Oryx is going to, kind of go up in pick rate and win rate, and I actually do think Melusi does feel better with the MP5 than she did with the T5, because you can get angled grip on it and stuff like that, and I think it just suits her better. But yeah, there's not really much I can go into depth of that, but I actually personally do believe that both Oryx and Melusi do actually benefit both from having their loadouts changed. But yeah, please do let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope I kind of made my point about Tachanka clear enough. He's extremely fun to play. I'm excited for him to come to live build. I just feel like now he's currently just like a too powerful version of Smoking Goyo, and he can kind of just do too much. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm just giving a dumb opinion on it, and maybe he is going to be strong, but I just feel like with the little hands-on that I've had of him and the little playtime that I've had, I can just see how effective he is going to be. I don't want them to nerf him to the ground to the point where it just becomes old Tachanka and not playable again, but I feel like he is kind of a bit too strong in the current position that he's currently in. But I'm going to end this video here. Thank you guys so much for watching. A massive shout out to my members: Conor SMITH, Prestige Hoarder, RSA.Biggie, Ivan GT, Carson HKYT, Callumsb7, Alonso Martinez, Zerb123, David Yude, Movimento, Aldo900, and finally Xalator Gaming. If you would like to become a member, it is $1.99 a month, and there is a link in the description below. Becoming a member supports me and my channel and the work I do at university and everything, so it supports me. And yeah, I cannot thank you guys enough, but thank you guys so much for watching this video. Like I said, please do let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Drop a like on this video if you did enjoy, dislike if you didn't, subscribe if you're new. I shall see you on the next video. Have a great day, stay safe, love you all.